Hello and welcome to Odyssey Motorsport TV's live coverage of the Tuesday Night Savage Sim Racing Sports Car Championship hosted by the Kansas City Racing League. We have multi-class action at Virginia International Raceway here tonight with the LMP2Xs and the GTEs. I am TJ Yankee, and in the broadcast booth with me, as always, is Lesean Young-Dilworth. How are we doing tonight, Els?
TJ, did you really just say VIR multi-class with GTEs and LMPXs? I think this might be a little bit of a tough one here, TJ. I'm talking like this because I am a little worried. How we doing, TJ? It's round 3, I believe it is. VIR multi-class KCRL. I'm ready. How are you feeling?
Oh, I'm feeling super ready. We're back live here again this week. Huge thanks to DLB Precision for helping make that happen. Yes, round 3 at VIR multi-class action here at Virginia International Raceway. A tough course to do multi-class action. There's a couple different corners that there's really only one line through, especially at high speed. The GTE's got a ton of downforce. I mean, we got live race control. We got potentially safety cars, depending on what happens. Tire changes, 70% fuel for the GTEs, a single fast repair, and a 10% increase in power in a 50-kilogram diet for the LMP2s. So it's going to be insane here, an absolute banger like VIR. We're in for a wild ride here on the East Coast. Els, you drove the onboard lap. How was the LMP2 rocket ship around VIR?
TJ, I know you're not asking me for real. The LMP2 does not seem to belong on a track like this, but it was fun. I will admit that it was fun, but with the extra power, the lightweight, it's flying through the corners. You got to beg it to stop sometimes because of the non-ABS. It's fun, TJ. I'm not gonna lie, it's fun, but it's gonna be it might be a little bit of a tussle and fussle.
All right. Well, we know the KCRL drivers are going to be in tip-top form as they usually are. But before we get too far into that, let's take a look at our season sponsor, Savage Sim Racing. Savage Sim Racing is an inclusive, development-focused sim racing community built for drivers who want more than just a place on the grid. While endurance racing is a major part of what they do, Savage Sim Racing is more than an endurance team. The community hosts casual races, driver development sessions, and weekly events like Monday Night Miatas, giving members plenty of ways to race, improve, and connect. For endurance drivers, they offer organized team support, coaching, telemetry review, setup assistance, and experienced captains to help prepare for major events. Whether you're a brand new driver, a seasoned competitor, or simply looking for a welcoming group to race with, Savage Sim Racing offers the community resources and opportunities to help you get more out of sim racing. Check out their Discord by scanning that QR code that is now up on your screen, and check out everything that Savage Sim Racing has to offer. Kansas City Racing League is also sponsored by Dad's Racing Services. Dad's Racing Services specialize in motorsports-grade racing simulator events and sales, offering activities such as events, equipment sales, custom builds, service, and all sorts of support. This can be for businesses, venues, race teams, and enthusiasts. They're also hosting a team endurance league called the Enduroverse that's going to be run by Kansas City Racing League's very own rule set and live race control. So be sure to check out how to get involved with that by going to dadsracingservices.com. So as we said, we got live race control in here. So tip of the cap to Dakota Knapp, our chief race steward and head of race control. Els will be keeping his ear to the ground for any communication for in the sim from race control and the other drivers. Huge thanks to Dakota and his team for providing this level of league management, as it's got to be one of the only leagues I know that has live race control, and it's really, really amazing, and it's really, really unique. So huge shout out to them. Odyssey Motorsport TV is brought to you by DLB Precision, a new platinum sponsor for Odyssey Motorsport TV. DLB Precision has created a reputation for the top-of-the-line and bespoke-built computers so that you and your team can run your sim title of choice and get an edge on the competition. Whether you're running a single widescreen as a driver or triple monitors while streaming or broadcasting and talking in Discord, DLB Precision can get your PC purring like a well-tuned race motor. Head on over to dlbprecision.com and they can sort you out. Their PCs are assembled and stress tested, so you receive a turnkey solution. The people over at DLB Precision are sim racers themselves, so they run what they build, and they know all the ways to tune your PC to run your sim title of choice with no stutters, no crashes, and bespoke to your needs. So if you're in the market for a sim PC or an update to your current PC, check out dlbprecision.com. Now, Els, let's jump on over to our B-roll footage of Virginia International Raceway. It's an absolutely beautiful circuit with lush grass, runoff areas, and a ton of elevation changes. It's a gorgeous place to have a race. This track was opened in 1957, but eventually closed in 1974, and it was raised from the dead in 1998 and has undergone a tremendous renovation while retaining the core that made it so popular back in the 50s and 60s. The 3.27-mile circuit has 21 corners, but some of those corners are double labeled, such as turns 5A and 5. So the curves are numerous and treacherous at speed, though, with the Snake Complex exiting turn 5A being the beginning of a long run uphill through turn 7, 8, and 9 complex flat out and cresting over the top of the hill at South Bend, then diving back down into Oak Tree. The roller coaster is another complex that is at the end of a long straight and at the top of a hill. So after that, it's around Hog Pen and you're back on the pit straight. A truly wonderful circuit. It's going to be a real blast watching these LMP2Xs slice in and out of the GTEs. Els, I think that's going to be the problem. I don't think the guys racing one another are going to be a problem. I think it's going to be traffic. What do you think?
Oh, definitely the traffic. That is exactly what I mean by they probably don't belong here. But that's just my opinion. I think this is going to be an amazing race. I mean, VIR is one of my favorites. I personally love it. I just did a GR race myself, and in a league race, and it was just close racing all the way. I'm not sure it's going to be as close as the GRs, but I tell you what, TJ, we got the first turn. We have the South Bend, the Oak Tree, the roller coaster, the Hog Pen, which are all really tricky spots to mess up. This track is one of those lock in, you better get it right or it's gonna punish you down the straights and through the high downforce, low speed sections as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you can see from the footage on the screen, we got a huge amount of grass runoff areas, and the way iRacing is, once you hit the grass, it might be game, set, and match. But let's go ahead and take a look at our schedule. We are here August 4th at VIR. Next week is going to be at Le Mans. That's going to be fantastic, as the GTEs were essentially created for Le Mans, and the LMP2s obviously are home there. But let's go ahead and take a look at our season standings so far. In the LMP2X, we got Paige Doffenbaugh in first place, Max Kraus in second place, Edric Reyes in third place, Chris Becco in fourth place, and Clayton Sanchez in fifth place. Moving on over to the GTE1 class, we got Richard Sidursky in first place, Jeremy Stevens in second place, David Barkley in third place, Christian La Rochelle in fourth place, and Alex Zinzer in fifth place. Then over to the GTE2s, we got Tristan Bernard in first place, Kevin Menez in second place, Charles Keane in third place, Jeremiah Sodden in fourth place, and Franklin Edwards in fifth place. But now it is time to take a guided onboard lap around VIR. So here we are in the DLB Precision LMP2, piloted by Els. The livery you see right now was created by Kyle Shook from Shook Sim Racing. Be sure to check him out at Shook Sim Racing on Instagram if you need a new paint scheme for you or your team. So here we go down the front straight. It is not actually straight, it's a curve. So cross the finish line and going into turn one, you're going to be hard on the brakes here. As Els said, no ABS on either of these cars. Get the car rotated, get back onto the throttle as soon as you can. Stay to the right as much as you can. You want to stay in the middle here if you can. Going into turn 4, clip the apex, and then hard on the brakes again for the beginning of the snake here. And then once you get a drive out of this one, it's going to be full throttle for a while. Els, take it away as we exit out of the snake.
Out of the snake is 6 and 6A corner numbers, and then we're going to hit the S's, which they call the 7, 8, and 9th corner. Boom, boom, into the South Bend. Very tricky. You got to tap the brake and hope that you don't go off into the grass, into Oak Tree. Also the same kind of deal, braking, cutting back for a late apex, and then back on the straight. TJ, why don't you take it over?
Yep, so once again, this straight here It's going to be an excellent opportunity for our LMP2X drivers to get around the GTEs, as the closing speed is going to be huge in these LMP2Xs. Into roller coaster again at the top of a crest. You're on the brakes here. You can see the lockup marks there, and then a right-hander, and then a left-hander, and now you're heading on down to Oak Tree, which is the final set of corners here, and then you'll be back on to the start-finish straight. So that is a full lap around Virginia International Raceway. The start-finish line, as we're going to see during the parade lap, it's all the way up here. So once the pace car pulls in, we'll see how long these drivers wait until they go green. So that is going to be our onboard lap. Excellent lap, Els. Well done. Look at that. That looks great. That DLB Precision LMP2X is looking fly. Thank you, Kyle from Shook Sim Racing. So we're going to go ahead and, shout out Kyle Shook. Let me turn that on. Yeah, Shook Sim Racing tonight onboard lap is brought to you by Shook Sim Racing. So Kyle Shook is a driver and livery maker that has a reputation for being a brand maker for sim teams and drivers alike. If you want a new custom livery that knocks out the competition before the green flag drops, be sure to check out Mental Health. So Dakota being the lone race steward there, he's got a lot of stuff to sift through after races and everything. So we're at medium risk right now. I think he's going to be very busy tonight as these cars try to cut through the traffic. And like I said, for some of these corners, the GTEs, it is a full commit corner for them. So we'll see what happens as everything goes green in a little bit here. But I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be exciting. The last two races have been absolutely exciting at Sebring and Monza. Like I said, watching these guys just like slot cars just cutting in and out of the traffic has been incredibly exciting.
I have to agree with you, TJ. This has already been the most exciting season and the latest season where everybody is out to play. Not at that big of a field this time around, but I think it's because everybody's scared of VIR, TJ.
Well, I mean, you say not that big of a field. There are still 40 drivers on the grid. So we've gotten to the point where Kansas City Racing League, 40 drivers is not that big of a field. So that in itself is incredible. I think you might be right, though. Oh, as Guy Burkhart jumps up into second place there. He just finished his lap as the qualifying has come to an end. So we're going to take a look at our qualifying results here. So we're going to bring up what we got going on. So Drake Smith is going to start on pole in the LMP2Xs with Guy Burkhart right there on the front row with him. Chris Becco immediately behind in third. Clayton Sanchez in fourth. Jacob Maganowski in fifth. Matt Stallcup in sixth. Connor Broussard in seventh. Michael Hamilton in eighth. Kelly McQueen in ninth. Edric Reyes in 10th. Riley Mills in 11th. And Mike Pico rounding out in 12th, rounding out your LMP2Xs. Then moving on to the GTE ones. David Barkley on pole position here. Zach Lewis is going to be beside him. Kyle Shook in third place. Fourth place is Kyle McDonald. Benjamin Gallant in fifth place. Richard Sidursky in sixth place. I'm moving on over. In seventh place, we have Richard Sidursky. And then Tristan Barnard's going to be our leader in the GTE 2 class with Nate Hallistick behind, or next to him, I should say. Jeremiah Sodden in second place in the GTE 2 class. Then Blaze Scheid, Charles Keene, Kristen La Rochelle, Emil Toe, Jeremiah Stevens, Brad Jorgensen, Kevin Menzes, and like I said, a small field. It is not, as we're going to just keep on going here. Joshua Landrum in 29th, 30th, Linda Barkley, Brian Froh, Franklin Edwards, Chris Opitz, Josh Swanger, Eric Barner, Aaron Lester, Michael Musato, Michael Brockart, and then rounding out is going to be Parker Clardy, who did not set a time, and Alex Good, who did not set a time. Like I said, we got ourselves a full house, even though it's not a full house. I think we have 55 individuals signed up here. So we got a ton of drivers here, and they're going to be starting from the pit lane too. So we got a full parade lap here. Bringing up the track map, we'll go ahead and throw on the battle boxes so we're ready for that once they get going. And then the BMW safety car is leading the field away with Drake Smith and Guy Burkhart leading the entire field here away from the pits. We're going to go back to TV3 here. Is if we look down, we're going to see there's so many cars. Holy cow. It's going to be a good one, Els. I'm looking forward to this already. This is going to be fantastic. As you will see a gap to the, you're going to see a gap between the GTEs and the LMP2s. So you can see David Barkley leading the way in the GTEs. Zach Lewis right next to him there. And then there's the back of the LMP2Xs here. All right. Another Odyssey Motorsport broadcast. Time to prep the popcorn. You might need a popcorn and a beer there. Jeffrey Davis in the chat. This one's going to be action-packed with the LMP2Xs cutting through the traffic here at Virginia International Raceway. Super pumped for it. Hopefully everyone has a clean turn one, but that is to be seen here. It is an hour-long race. So can't win the race in turn one, but you know, the first two races, actually, I take that back. The first race, a number of drivers had a hard time in turn one at Sebring, but Monza was absolutely squeaky clean through that first chicane, Els, and no problems with that at all. So I'm expecting kind of the same here as these drivers now come to grips with these faster LMP2Xs. I think we're going to have a relatively decent turn one. What do you think?
TJ, we already know what KCRL is about, man. They're gonna do good, man. And I say, man, because we're already expecting some quality driving into turn one. We know how there's penalties. There's race control. Dakota's gonna lay down the law, TJ.
Yeah,
we know this.
I was gonna say, I think that was a huge reason as to why everyone drives so cleanly. Is Dakota's rule set, his live race control. It really penalizes you, especially in a lap one, turn one incident. So I think just a little bit of guidance from race control, and these drivers have really shown that they are tip top when they have the correct incentive. As we're heading up towards roller coaster, still under the safety car here. Well, the MP2X is heating up the tires. Kayla Shook in the chat. Woohoo, let's go Odyssey Motorsport, guys. Good luck, everyone. Absolutely. Hopefully the Odyssey Motorsport drivers of Kyle Shook and Emil Toe have a great race. But we're going to have a great race here as the Kansas City Racing League Round 3 at Virginia International Raceway of the Savage Sim Rating Sports Car Championship is about to begin here. Like I said, we'll get these after everyone kind of gets settled in. But a couple off tracks, but overall, our LMP2's doing okay. But Drake Smith had an off. We're going to have to see what happened with that. He is all the way back down in 10th position with Chris Becco, Guy Burkhart leading the LMP2Xs. As we were looking at the GTEs, we missed what happened with Drake. So we will take a look at that here in a moment as they go up into roller coaster for the first time.
Wow, TJ, very unexpected from Drake. I'm very curious as to what happened.
Matt Stallcup currently third, keeping it in within touching distance of the two Purple Rain cars up front. Oh, huge wreck towards the back there. I don't know if you saw that. There's Drake Smith. So let's take a look at what happened with Drake Smith here. It says Drake Smith went off the track. So we're going to take a look at that. This is lap one. Oh, just went a little wide. A couple cars went wide. Ooh! Avoids the contact, but obviously loses a ton of position. So self-inflicted, then just wrong place, wrong time for Drake Smith. That explains what happened with him. Let's see if we can see what happened there. With Nate Hallistick. There was a major incident there in the back. It was Edric Reyes. So we're going to take a look at Edric Reyes real fast. Let's see what happened with him. I think he was up in about 8th position. And, oh, just a self-spin. So that was the smoke that I saw. He was just holding the brakes. So looking pretty good. But Chris Becco, Guy Burkhart leading the way. David Barkley leading the way in the GTE1s with Zach Lewis and Kyle Shook immediately behind them. And then Tristan Barnard, Jeremiah Sodden, and Linda Barkley, your top 3 in the GTE2 class right now. Oh, no! Zach Lewis goes wide there at South Bend before going into Oak Tree. Kyle Shook looking to pounce and get into that second place position here. Let's see if he's got a decent run coming out of Oak Tree. I think there was some accident avoidance there on the exit there as he kind of closed that gap. It's a good looking livery there, if I do say so myself, Els.
Oh, definitely, TJ. I think that's a special livery on Benjamin Gallant as well as David Barkley.
Looking pretty fly. Tristan Bernard, he's your leader in the GTE2 class right now. He's got Kristen La Rochelle in the GTE1 class between him and Jeremiah Sodden right now. We're going to jump back up to Zach Lewis and David Barkley. In your GTE, a first and second place right now. David Barkley in the DLB Precision BMW. Pushing that BMW for what it's worth.
These things sound insane, TJ. Thank you for this view.
Zach Lewis in the Corvette. Look how much elevation change there is there. Clips a little bit of the grass. These drivers do have to be careful. It is really easy to get off-track points. They accumulate quickly, so you got to be careful. But we're going to take a look at Chris Becco and Guy Burkhart, who are still really close to one another here. I said both part of that Purple Rain Motorsports team.
Oh, I see smoke.
I saw a ton of smoke too. Scroll down and see if I missed. Looks like Josh Swanger had an off. Guy Burkhart really pushing that LMP2X. He had left a brown tire mark in the grass there, exiting the snake.
We got Kyle Shook, let's go baby, in the chat from Edit Respect.
Do I say it, Els? Do I say it the way it's meant to be sent? That's my man.
Oh no, you did it, TJ.
I did.
We gotta work on that one, TJ.
Oh, come on, that's hilarious thing. You gotta do that during your free throw shoot. As Guy Burkhart still within a half a second of, oh goodness, and that was Brian Musato that was off on the outside there, but he was off the track, so no issue for these LMP2Xs as they're starting to catch up to the GTEs here, the backmarking GTEs. And we're going to jump back to Drake Smith, who's trying to make up some positions here. Currently hunting down Michael Hamilton in 5th place. Heading in through NASCAR. Drake Smith right on the gearbox there. Is he going to get the drive? Up towards the S's here. Yeah, we like to have fun here, Jeffrey.
Owner of Odyssey Motorsport, by the way.
Yeah, no big deal. Oh my goodness. Was Michael Hamilton barely keeping it on the road there. Drake Smith trying to go around the outside in Oak Tree, and there's traffic up ahead, so what's going to happen here? Drake Smith's going to take advantage of the traffic and have a nice moving pick there. And that was Franklin Edwards that he was able to utilize getting around. And now Connor Broussard taking a look on Michael Hamilton as we head up into roller coaster. So great move from Drake Smith and Connor Broussard. Johnny on the spot there, utilizing that traffic to get around Michael Hamilton. And, you know, as we've said a million times in multi-class racing L's, the traffic can giveth and take it away in a second. So Michael Hamilton, it's not over yet. Keep an eye out for that traffic. Maybe you can utilize the same type of thing. As we see, Jacob Maganowski has, he's got a meatball, so I'm not sure what happened with him. Did say that he went off track, so here's Jacob Maganowski. Let's see what happened with that. Oh, he's already damaged here.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Not seeing where it said he crashed, but Drake Smith now on Matt Stallcup here, trying to get up into 4th place. Yeah, this is our first live broadcast of the Kansas City Race League. Oh, goodness, a little bit of contact there with Michael Brockhart with Matt Stallcup. Holy moly. Oh, Drake Smith on the outside trying to get around Emil Toe there, one of the Odyssey Motorsports drivers in the Porsche. And almost at the exact same place on the circuit, there's another GTE traffic, but was not able to get past Matt Stallcup there. And as a matter of fact, Connor Broussard was able to close the gap there, heading into roller coaster here.
I mean, TJ, they are absolutely doing a great job here tonight, keeping it clean. I mean, I'm not impressed. I expected it, but they're keeping it clean, TJ. We should be proud of KCRL and how much it's matured, and look at the league now.
Yeah, these guys, I mean, I'm looking at it from a driver's point of view. I mean, obviously I'm looking at it from a broadcaster point of view, and it's super exciting. From a driver's point of view, being within a quarter second of an LMP2, and actually, you know, 3 of them in a line, it's got to seem hectic. And oh goodness, that was Alex Good there on off track there as he's coming on back on track. He waited till the LMP2Xs went through. It's got to be hectic on board, especially cutting through that traffic. This is a South Bend. So easy to get that corner wrong, and you're going into the grass for a wild into Oak Tree here. Oh, we got, oh goodness, let me get out of this view here. That was Matt Stallcup. Went a little sideways there.
No.
Guy Burkhart went sideways. Let's see what happened there. We'll start with Guy Burkhart. Oh, actually, we're going to stay right here as they're cutting through traffic now. Drake Smith up into 3rd. Connor Broussard right behind him trying to get by. This is the 3rd lap in a row. Connor Broussard has been trying to get by Drake Smith coming out of Oak Tree with traffic on the straight heading up to the roller coaster. Holy cow. Oh, busy track. We're only 11 minutes in, Els. We still got 49 to go.
They're used to it, TJ. They're used to it. This is KCRL.
All right, let's see what happened here with Jacob Maganowski. Just going into roller coaster. Oh, there's a damaged car up ahead of him. Oh, no. Well, that explains what happened with Jacob. Drake Smith up into 3rd. We're going to take a look at our GTE top 3 right now. Zach Lewis in 2nd place. David Barkley in 1st place. Kyle Shook in 3rd place. All within about a second of one another. These 3, those LMP2Xs are coming up on them very soon-ish. They're going through roller coaster. The LMP2X is coming around Oak Tree right now, if you see on the track map. Just so much elevation change here at this track. Yes, a hogwash of cars in Oak Tree for sure. Oh, Zachary Lewis getting up close and personal with David Barkley here. Going into turn 1.
I mean, TJ, do you hear the backfire of that?
Yeah.
That BMW? It's just like a dragon just.
Yeah, when he goes down on the, when he goes off the throttle, I mean, it sounds like a dragon gurgling gravel. It's pretty insane. We'll hear it here as we go through South Bend.
I would say it's like a dragon drinking like liquor or something. Like it's pretty cool.
No. Yeah, you can hear it right there.
Oh man.
All right, we're going to jump back up to Drake Smith as he is all over the back of Clayton Sanchez here, trying to get up into second place. Chris Becco all the way up in first. Not too far away, so Drake's had a heck of a recovery drive, especially cutting through traffic here. Oh, goodness, that was Jeremiah Sodden on the outside there. Went off track, going through Oak Tree.
Now, shout out everybody in the chat. Let's get the chat jumping for the KCRL drivers, keeping it on track, tidy and clean, keeping you entertained tonight.
And here we go. We got traffic up ahead of Clayton and Drake here. How is that going to shake out as they head into Hog Pen? Clayton's going out the outside. No drama at all as Drake Smith just follows him through. More traffic. Christian La Rochelle is who the LP2s are passing with ease. Oh, a bit of a lockup there from Drake Smith going into turn 1. So much so that Christian La Rochelle almost got into the back of him. But crisis averted for now. Now, they do get tire changes. So Kansas City Racing League, for the longest time, there was no tire changes. Now that the race was only 45 minutes long, it's an hour now. So there is tire changes for that. But for the longest time, if you locked it up, you had to deal with that for the rest of the races. We're a quarter of the way through, just past the 15-minute mark. Here for round 3 of the Savage Sim Racing Sports Car Championship. Drake Smith hot on the tail of Clayton Sanchez here. When is he going to make the move, or does he stay behind? And, as we've talked about in the previous rounds, L's fuel saving absolutely crucial in these LMP2Xs. Does he just stay behind and hang on to the draft? Because Chris Becco not that far ahead of Clayton Sanchez here.
I would think, TJ, if he's under a little bit of a slow, I mean, I'm just saying, if he's being held up, TJ, I would think that Drake would want to get by and get as much ground as possible and try and use the timing of the GTEs to maybe catch up. But that's my thought process, TJ. What are you thinking?
Well, I'm thinking if Clayton Sanchez is able to close the gap, which he is, it's now below 2 seconds. I don't know if that was just the pace or if that was traffic. It was about 2.5 seconds as they were going through the roller coaster. Now down below 2 seconds. So if I was Drake and Clayton was, little bit of contact there, I think. If I was Drake, I would let Clayton pull me around the circuit, especially since we know that fuel savings is so crucial in these LMP2Xs.
Well, we'll see what happens here, TJ. I think Drake is getting a little impatient, and the gap is coming down, like you said. So we'll see what he chooses to do.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know if that's based off of pure pace or just happenstance with the traffic. But we're going to jump back to David Barkley, Zach Lewis, and Kyle Shook as they're absolutely nose to tail here. Was watching their interval drop down under a quarter a second in numerous places, which means they were right on top of one another. And as you can see, they still are And these are our leaders. Chris Becco going by right now.
Oh,
You can see Drake Smith and Clayton Sanchez are right behind him. Just a shout out as well. Tristan Bernard, Jeremiah Sodden, and Lyndon Barkley are top 3 in the GTE 2.
I mean, how long do you wait as a LMP? Like, traffic jam here. What's going on?
Yeah, that gap that was down below 2 seconds. Oh, goodness. Here we go. Side by side. Oh, David Barkley's in the mix. What's going to happen here as we go through the S's? Drake Smith gets the position. What a move. Holy cow.
What a move. That was insane.
Wow.
No patience.
I think you're right. Els, I think he has been a little impatient. Or he's been ready to get by, especially after kind of that self-forced error there. Wow.
The name of the game, TJ, is traffic management, and I am learning watching these gentlemen here at VIR.
Zach Lewis almost got an opportunity on David Barkley here, your leader and second place in the GT1 class, as the leaders for the LMP2Xs went through there, as we saw that traffic jam going through the S's. Now, in the LMP2X, you might be able to go through those S's at full speed with the downforce they have, but I don't know if you would be able to go side by side all that fast in a GTE car. I just don't think they have the downforce the LMP2Xs have. See Michael Hamilton going through. And now we got to take a look at the gap between Chris Brecco and Drake Smith.
TJ, I've got a Guy Burkhart drive-through penalty, incident responsibility, lap 7 by Dakota.
All right.
And I think I missed it because I don't have the spectator chat on, so I apologize for that.
Tell you who is closing in right now. Kyle Shook was real close on the back of Zachary Lewis as they came out of the S's there. Or excuse me, came out of the S's there once again. Oh, right on the rear. Going through Oak Tree here. Is he going to be able to make a move? Does he make a move or does he wait? We're only 20 minutes into this hour-long session, so with David Barkley still right there, Kyle Shook could race for a little while longer and stay within touching distance, or does he want to get up ahead of Zach Lewis?
Also, TJ, there was an Aaron Lester drive-through penalty.
Here we go, side by side down the front straight. Sorry. This is for second in the GTE ones. Into turn 1, Shook on the inside, Lewis on the outside. And Zach is going to drop back into third, Shook into second place. Great move from him. I don't know how he got such a great drive out of Hogpen there, Els. All right, sorry, go ahead. What was going on with the penalties?
Oh, my apologies. Aaron Lester drive-through penalty, incident responsibility, lap 5. I'm actually looking through the chat to make sure I didn't miss anything. And that's all I see.
All right. That explains some of our stuff. O's in the chat for Kyle Shook. What a move. Yep, that was a heck of a move from Kyle Shook at the right place at the right time. Got the good drive out of Hogpen and was able to jump into second place. But now he's got to catch up to David Barkley. Kyle and Zach's battle gave David a little bit of a gap. So a little bit of work left for Kyle. And he's got to hold off Zach Lewis, who's behind, who's going to want to get back into that second place position. But we're going to jump back just a little bit as the field has spread out a little bit to Tristan Bernard. He's currently leading the GTE2 field on the trot. And then Jeremiah Salden in second place. And then third place is Linda Barkley, another DLB Precision driver. So the DLB Precision driver's doing relatively well. Matt Stallcup in the pit lane. And what do you know? Drake Smith is within a half a second of Chris Becco for the lead here in the LP2Xs. Drake Smith, let me tell you, he's driving like a man possessed here tonight.
Well, he has been putting in work. I believe he was down at 10th position at one point, and look at him flying on the back of Becco into Oak Tree. TJ, this is what you call quality driving right here from Drake Smith.
Absolutely. You got our two Kansas City Racing League champions. Chris Becco, last season's defending champion, currently leading about a half second on Drake Smith. Drake Smith, season 9 and 10 champion. So these two know how to duke it out. I would say the multi-class thing is relatively new for this season, but clearly not an issue for either of these two drivers, as they have just expertly carved up the GTE field every time they're going through. As we're in lap 16, 24 minutes into this 1 hour long session, I would say in the next 4 or 5 minutes, we're going to start seeing the pit flurry of activity as everyone stops for tires and fuel L's.
Absolutely, TJ. And I want to shout out the chat. We got a lot of O's in the chat. Let's get some likes and some shares. Thank y'all for showing up and watching these KCRL drivers show out. And look at them go through Oak Tree. Blake Shaw is going to let them go.
Yeah.
Chris Becco and Drake Smith about 3/10 apart now, TJ.
Yep, he is right on the gearbox there. Chris Becco. A little bit of a wiggle there from Chris Becco as he exited Oak Tree. See that interval just starting to come down. Now we got Alex Good up ahead. Oh, goodness. Almost disaster. But now we're side by side going down the front straightaway. And that's Brian Froh up ahead. How's he going to factor into this? Oh, we're going to go 3 wide into turn 1. Chris Becco's going to take the position back. Whoa. But back on the attack is Drake Smith. Now side by side heading into turns 2 and 3. Chris on the inside. Drake on the outside. Chris going to be able to take the position back. Oh, side by side again. Drake not giving up. He wants first place badly.
Well, TJ, I think at this point he deserves it. Putting a whole bunch of pressure on Chris Becco.
Side by side through the S's. Oh, Chris Becco goes wide. And Drake Smith's going to go into the lead here. Wow.
Now that's how you put on the pressure. That's how you put on the pressure, TJ.
Yep.
I love it. Now you got to run, Drake. What are you going to do? Got to run.
Drake Smith into the lead. Remember, he started from pole, had an off track on lap 1, avoided some contact, dropped back to 10th, but he is now up in the lead. But with Chris Becco right on his tail. I said these are your two Kansas City Racing League champions, so do not count Chris out. I'm sorry, while we were watching this battle, it looks like Zach Lewis was able to get back by Kyle Shook, so we'll see if we can see how that happened. I'm not seeing it on there. Oh, sorry, Els. I was just looking at the We're going to jump back actually to Kyle Shook real quick as he's trying to get back into second place. I was looking at the event log, and it's just Chris Becco passed Drake Smith for P1. Drake Smith passed Chris Becco for P1. Just like a full line of it, since they were trading first place back and forth. It is pretty awesome to see that.
Yep, they are fighting as they should be for the win here at VIR. And just a notification, we got Chris Orped's drive-through penalty incident responsibility 9th lap. Just seeing that as well.
Alrighty. Jumping back to Benjamin Gallant, another one of the DLB Precision cars. Trying to get by Richard Sidursky. So this is the battle for 4th position in the GTE1 class. Richard in 4th, Benjamin in 5th. We're starting to see that pit activity right now. Right now, we're going to take a glance up at our leaders because guess who's back in the fray? It's Clayton Sanchez.
That's what happens when you fight, TJ.
Yep. Now, Clayton Sanchez, teammate to Chris Becco, so not sure how that will factor out as long as Drake can stay up in front.
Are you sure they're teammates, TJ?
Both of it says Purple Rain on both of them. It's Purple Rain.
One says Purple Rain and the other one says Savage Sim Racing. I think.
Oh, you are 100% right. They're just purple colored. Okay, not teammates at all. So we got a free for all up front. I was wrong. All right, seeing
beautiful cars, by the way.
Yeah, seeing in the chat what happened to Emil. Emil is out of the race right now. Not sure what happened to him. I'll take a look to see what happened, see if there's an event in the log here. Oh, I do notice that Linda Barkley is down in 6th place in the GTE2 class. She was all the way up in 3rd for a while there. She's having a heck of a race. Maybe use a fast repair and be able to get back into contention here. Here we go. I see Emil Toe went off track. Let's take a look and see what happened with Emil since we're hearing it from the chat. Oh, goodness. He actually jumped into the chat. So Emil out of the race for now, but it's always next week at Le Mans. So bring your A game next week because that track is basically, well, these cars are basically custom designed for that track. But we got a 3-way battle for the LMP2Xs between Drake Smith, Chris Becco, and Clayton Sanchez. So as we saw Chris Becco go a little wide there, going through the S's, any one of these three has a small mistake, the others are going to pounce. So, oh no, Kyle Shook. Okay, Kyle Shook went into the pits. Seeing Kyle Shook down in 10th place, I was like, what happened? He was up there fighting for 3rd for a minute. But we are in the pit window, 31 minutes in. So we should see the rest of the individuals. Let's go ahead and bring up, see what pit lap all these drivers are, so we'll be able to see who has been in, who hasn't. And so Kyle Shook, lap 17, he was in. He's the first of the top 10 of the LMP or the GTE ones to go in. So maybe he's hoping that the traffic, he's able to get a nice undercut there. Maybe come out ahead of Zach Lewis or David Barkley here. On board with Chris Becco as he's hunting down Drake Smith, going by Jeremy Stevens, the GT1 class. Now I'm wondering, are these LMP2Xs, are they going to take tires or not?
I would hope so, TJ. I mean, I believe the track temp is not too high, but an hour race and the way these guys are fighting in the front, it might be a good idea.
Yeah, only an 85 degree Fahrenheit track temperature. Relatively cool as far as track temperatures go. So I think you're right, Els. Not really, hopefully not a problem, but with the way these guys are pushing these cars, they're probably going to need some. Oh, goodness! Chris Becco is going to slide. He doesn't go off the track, but he is now down, way down in third place. Clayton Sanchez up into second. We'll take a look at that from the outside views. We were on board with it when it happened, so just overcooked it a little bit there.
We were just talking about tires too, TJ.
Yeah, I was just about to say maybe it is time for the tires.
I don't know. Maybe we should probably change the subject and talk about how beautiful the DLB precision car looks, because that will not change by us commentating on it.
Absolutely true. David Barkley all the way up in the lead. He's got a 17-second gap to Richard Sidursky here. Let's see what's going on with the pit laps again. So Kyle Shook went in lap 17, currently in 10th position. Only Zach Lewis ahead of him has, and Zach Lewis has a black flag. If Kyle Shook can hang on to stuff here, just have a clean race, that would be most likely be second place for him if he's able to keep a clean race. With Zach Lewis having a black flag, he's going to have to do a drive-through penalty.
Yep, incident responsibility, lap 19.
Wow. Oh, and just like that, I just saw in the Zach Lewis went off track. So let's take a look at what happened here. Going into South Bend. Like I said, really
very easy to do.
Yeah, really easy to get that one wrong. Very tough corner, especially going over the crest of a hill. Yeah, David Barkley having a massive gap here. We're going to jump up. Drake Smith and Clayton Sanchez taking their pit stops. Chris Becco opting to stay out an extra lap. So we'll see where these guys come out when Chris goes in, and then we'll see where everyone is when Chris comes out. Now,
crucial moment, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, does the LMP2X, does it do fuel first and then tires, or is it tires and fuel at the same time? I'm trying to remember because I did not see Drake's car go up in the air.
I believe from one of the practices that I've done that it is.
He did not take tires.
Never mind. We will not know the answer to that, TJ.
All right. Well, like I said, once Chris Becco comes in for his pit stop, we'll see when he's exiting. We'll keep an eye on the scoring tower there. And when it says pit exit, we will jump up to Drake Smith to see where he is at.
Oh no, I'm seeing meatballs on the on the field there, TJ.
Michael Riley Mills and Edric Reyes. So I'm seeing Riley Mills going off the track. Yep, so let's start here. That's Riley Mills just up ahead, I believe. Oh, no.
Oh.
Yeah, that'll do it.
What happened? He just locked up?
I think he just locked up. Trying to see what happened with Riley Mills. Riley Mills also went off track. So we'll take a look at that real fast. Oh, that's a heavy impact.
Oh, no.
Well, fortunately, it wasn't anyone doing anything to anyone else. It was just, unfortunately, the pressure got to him. Then overcooked it on both of those. So we're going to jump to Drake Smith now as he's coming down the front straight. And he takes the lead back from Chris Becco there. That's Chris Becco exiting. You can see at the top of your screen. So Drake Smith now got a healthy gap and a full lap of heated up tires. So I'm not sure if Chris took tires or not. So we'll see. We know Drake didn't. But right now it's Drake Smith, Chris Becco, and Clayton Sanchez, your top three in the LMP2X. Ooh, his eco's a little wide there. And then you got David Barkley, Richard Swiderski, and Benjamin Gallant, your top three in the GTE ones. And Kevin Menzes, Brian Froh, and Jeremiah Sodden, you're currently your top three, but I think they are going through the pit shuffle right now. So it might actually be Franklin Edwards or Tristan Bernard that are up in the top three. So looks like Franklin Edwards and Kevin Menzes, only GTE 2s that have not pitted yet, but your entire top seven in the GTE 1s has not yet pitted. So
I'm seeing in the chat from Import Power, what type of strategies do you think we'll see today, TJ?
We're gonna go fast. That's the strategies that we're gonna see, because that's what these guys are doing. Clearly, at least in the LMP2X's, Drake Smith clearly felt comfortable enough not to take tires. So that was the strategy for the LMP2X's. I don't think the GTEs, generally speaking, they usually don't take tires. So just splash and dash. And we'll see, obviously, towards the end if that plays out or not, as we got about 20 minutes remaining. So still decent amount of racing left. So we'll see if that was the right choice, if the tires come back to bite Drake.
Now, Chris Becco had that spin. I don't know how much that affects the tires in iRacing. So I guess he may have taken tires and
no, that's Zach Lewis right there. Zach Lewis. What do you know? Right behind him, Kyle Shook and Nate Hallistick. Shook going up the inside. Oh, a little bit of contact. Corvette on Corvette action here. The Shook gets ahead. Up into seventh position. Nate Hallistick flashing his lights in his Porsche behind Zach Lewis there. As I believe him and Shook were in a battle leading up to that. Now Zach Lewis trying to take the position back. Like I said, I think... Oh, and he does! What a move from Zach Lewis! Holy cow! I don't know how he had the space to do that. That was incredible. In through Oak Tree. See Kyle Shook right on the gearbox here.
Now this is effectively for second position, TJ?
I think so. As you see all of the individuals in the pits right now, but I think these guys got caught up in some traffic here, because there's individuals coming out of the pits that are well ahead. Kyle Shook and Zach Lewis were up there fighting for second place.
I'm wondering if they both took tires, because that could have slowed them down enough to make up for the lost knowledge that we have right now as to what's going on with the gaps. So we may see them close in if they can manage the traffic properly.
Yeah, but with that lap completing, that's everyone in the GTE1 class at least has done their pit stop. So this is where everyone shook out after the pit stops here. So, Zach Lewis in 6th, Kyle Shook in 7th, and Richard Swiderski, Benjamin Gallant, Christian La Rochelle, and Kyle McDonald all jumping these individuals. So the later pit stops seemed to work a little bit better. It just might have been the way traffic was. They might have came out after that early pit stop and had some LMP2Xs overtaking them in some unfavorable positions for lap times.
Ooh,
Nate Hallistick,
little dirt,
holds on to it, but we got to give a shout out to our the CEO, the main man, the fearless leader of the Savage Sim Racing crew, our season 12 title sponsor, currently in 8th and duking it out with the likes of Kyle Shook and Zach Lewis. So Still very much in the fight here, with about 17 and a half minutes remaining.
Oh, no,
Shook.
from Kyle Shuck.
Locks it up, and Nate Halstick takes the position. He's up into 7th. Now Shook is into 8th. And Zach Lewis was able to get around Kyle McDonald there, up ahead. That's Kelly McQueen cutting through right now. So yeah, if you watch this back, Nate, let me know if your SDK photo updated or not. I know a couple of the drivers, they definitely did. So just shoot me a message in Discord. Let me know if that is the correct SDK photo for you.
All right, TJ, I am seeing Linda Barkley.
Oh, my goodness. Look at the
drive
flags.
Through. Yeah, I'm about to talk to you.
All right, go ahead.
About Linda Barkley got a drive-through OR post. I don't know what that means. 30-second penalty, incident responsibility, lap 20. Got Kelly McQueen drive-through penalty, incident responsibility, lap 25. And also Zach Lewis had a drive-through penalty at some point, lap 19, for also an incident.
Oh my goodness. I don't know if you see this. Drake Smith with a meatball and in the pit lane.
What? TJ.
All right, so I am going to take a look real quick at see what happened. So it starts with there's a couple people that had a crash. So we'll start with Mike Pico. Don't know if he was involved in that or not. So going into turn 1 here. Oh, look at that traffic. Oh my gosh. All right, so there's contact there.
Oh.
I don't see Drake Smith anywhere just yet. So that's what happened there. I'm trying to find what happened with Drake Smith. Drake Smith went off track. All right, let's take a look and see what happened here. Oh, no. He just flew off the track there. And then jumped to the pits. Wow. So that means Chris Becco is up there. What's up?
I'm going to say it. You should have took tires, bro. I mean, I mean, I kind of called it, TJ. I feel bad for it, but I'm kind of right, TJ.
I mean, logic would dictate that. Yeah, it might have been the tires that caused him to go wide there, and he might know that he's pretty much done because he didn't take him during the pit stop, but. Really unfortunate. It's always a gamble, right? Pit strategy is always a gamble. So, you know, very rare for Drake to get it wrong, but I think that is definitely the case here tonight. But a heck of a recovery drive all the way up into first. To have it happen in first place, probably got to be heartbreaking for the guy. But we know he'll be back next week with a vengeance, as he always is.
I tell you what, TJ, and I love to tell you what.
Yep.
Drake Smith has been the champion, the fighter in the past. He can take a little bit of a tease. I mean, he's great.
Oh yeah.
He's great, but I think he should have took tires driving that hard through the traffic. And we all make mistakes.
Yeah, import of power. The track temp actually relatively mild, 89 degrees Fahrenheit. So as far as VIR goes, not ridiculously hot. I would say relatively cool, actually staying under 90 degrees as we got less than 15 minutes remaining here with Clayton Sanchez trying to get up there to Chris Becco, but Connor Broussard, huge gap between Clayton Sanchez and Connor Broussard for second and third. So a long way to go. David Barkley still leading the way in the GT1 class with Richard Sidursky and Benjamin Gallant behind him. Zach Lewis, we're going to actually jump over to him as he is trying to get by Christian La Rochelle for fourth place, and he does, going through the S's. Another great move going into the S's for Zach Lewis. You know, I would not say that that is the place that you want to pass, but he's done it 2 or 3 times and just made it look easy. Jump down to Tristan Bernard, who is, oh, that was locking up a little bit there. This is the battle for second in the GTE2 class. So Tristan Bernard trying to get back up into a higher step of the podium. Jeremiah Sawden, 27 seconds ahead of these two. And it looks like Brian Froh's missing, is he missing a rear bumper there? I can't tell if it's just dark or not. But yeah, both of those cars going through the S's there, they were a little sketchy looking. So see if Tristan's able to put a move on and get into second, or if Brian's able to defend. Going into Oak Tree. He is not missing his rear bumper. It is right there. Getting a bit of a run on him. Does he make a move going into roller coaster? Is he wait? He makes the move. He's going up the inside in roller coaster. Let's see if side by side, Brian Froh, Tristan Bernard. Tristan Bernard's going to be able to get the position. So solid move into roller coaster from Tristan Bernard there. But we're going to jump up to Clayton Sanchez and Chris Becco. Your overall leaders here. Chris Becco might not have taken tires like Drake Smith. Might be struggling now. So not entirely sure. We're going to have to ask in the interviews afterwards if they took tires or not. Clayton Sanchez has reeled in Chris Becco now. Just over 10 minutes remaining. Go ahead, Els.
I got to say, TJ, I think it's because official races in iRacing are normally shorter. We don't think to take tires. But in these longer league races, I think it's almost imperative that you either take care of your tires and drive kind of conservatively, or make the call and take the extra time to take the tires, TJ. Especially in these long races.
Yeah, I agree with you, but these guys here, they might just be talented enough to, oh goodness, here we go. Might just be talented enough to push the tires and not take the tires and make them last the whole race. I'm not entirely sure. Less than 10 minutes, and we will tell if that was the case or not. But yeah, no, I gotta take tires. I can't survive on clapped out tires at all. But I mean, these guys are the best of the best when it comes to the multi-class traffic, the managing of these cars, the tires, the fuel. They are, you know, I gotta guess that occasionally they're gonna make the gamble, and we'll see if it pays off. Did not pay off, it seems, for Drake Smith. But Chris Becco looking a little loose as he goes through some of those lower speed corners. You might be right. Goes a little wide once again. Chris Becco at 13 off-track points, so also got to be careful with that.
Definitely a gamble, TJ.
Well, and then that's the other thing you have to keep in mind is the incident point limit. If your tires are absolutely wrecked, it's a lot easier to get those off tracks, and they add up oh so quickly here at VIR. Is a tiny dip of the tire. That's another incident point. Get too many, you're going to have a drive-through. So Chris Becco got to be careful there with 13 off tracks, at least on the scoring tower. Clayton Sanchez, on the other hand, only 5. So he can really afford to push the car, maybe cut the course here and there a little bit to gain an advantage. Chris Becco is not going to be able to do that.
Ooh, he's sliding a little bit.
Yes, he is.
Understeering a little bit.
Well, we're going to take a look real quick at Kyle Shook as he is trying to get back into the top 5. I've seen this gap drop down to under 1/10 of a second multiple times, which means they were side by side going through some of the South Bend or something like that, as they are now coming up towards the roller coaster now. So we'll keep an eye on that gap between Chris and Clayton there. On board with Kyle Shook. It's Christian La Rochelle up ahead. At 6.5 minutes remaining. So far, Christian La Rochelle defending very, very nicely here, as Kyle Shook trying to get back up into the top 5. It's Odyssey Motorsport against Savage Sim Racing here. And the final laps, around 3, Clayton Sanchez within a half second of Chris Becco. We're going to have to jump back up to that because this is for the lead of the race overall. Just keeping an eye on that gap between Shook and La Rochelle. And this gap has opened up significantly. So we're going to jump back to Shook and La Rochelle here. Oh, right on the gearbox there. See if he's able to make a move going into roller coaster. Here we go. Side by side. Oh, Shook is going to be able to get ahead. A heck of a move going into roller coaster there. Both drivers leaving the room racing cleanly. They might have touched a tiny bit, but definitely not enough to cause any issues. Great move from Shook. Great defending from La Rochelle leading up to that point. The Shook was all over the rear bumper of La Rochelle for about 2.5 laps there.
And we got O's in the chat, TJ.
Yeah.
The crowd is loving it. Let's get the O's in the chat for our Odyssey Motorsport driver, Kyle Shook, in the special livery. Let's go. KCRL, multi-class, VIR.
Yes, sir. But jumping back up to the LMP2 leaders, Chris Becco and Clayton Sanchez. They got less than 5 minutes remaining to hold it together here. And now this gap has actually opened up quite a bit. We're going to jump back to Guy Burkhart, who is trying to get by Edric Reyes for 6th in the LMP2 X class. He does with ease. So Guy Burkhart up into 6th. That's Mike Pico up ahead. A huge gap up to him, about 18.5 seconds. But Edric trying to get back. These are the 2 Purple Rain cars. Oh, they're saying the forbidden number in the chat, Els.
The forbidden number in the chat. The crowd is lit.
Yeah, they are.
KCRL is popping off. Let's go, TJ.
All right, here we go. We should be coming close to the white flag here in probably the next lap. As Chris Becco and Clayton Sanchez still within touching distance of one another. Probably one more lap left after this one. So they'll probably get the white flag the next time around, as we got about 2 3/4 minutes remaining. It's about a 1:38 lap. Actually, no, I take that back. 1:36 lap from these two. So they might be able to squeeze one more in. It's just going to have to be determined on where they are when they cross the line. How much time is remaining here? Oh, that is a harrowing corner at speed in this car. Holy cow. All right, heading up towards roller coaster here. Clayton getting a little bit of extra draft from Christian La Rochelle's GTE. We're going to jump to the nose to see if we can see the white flag as they come around, because there is only a minute and a half remaining. This should be the white flag. Yeah, there it is. White flag. Final lap of the race here for round 3 at VIR for the Savage Sim Racing Sports Car Championship. Yeah, I'm not going to say it. Sorry, Importer Power. I'm not saying it. We appreciate you guys coming in the chat, but I ain't saying that number. It's not happening. Because I'm too busy watching Clayton Sanchez hunt down Chris Becco to try to take the lead here on the final lap. So far, Chris is able to hang on to it, but going through South Bend there, closes the gap a little bit more. Now it's under a half second going through Oak Tree.
Oh no, somebody in the...
Yeah, there's someone in the grass, but they're out of the way. On board with our leader, Chris Becco. That's Kyle shook that they're going by as they go into roller coaster. Is he going to be able to pull something off here as they go through roller coaster for the final time? Chris Becco, he's got traffic up ahead with Josh Swanger.
He's got no wing, too, so this is going to be interesting.
Oh, goodness. Chris is going to be able to get by. Josh goes wide. But I think Chris Becco is going to be able to hang on to the lead there. And he takes the win. But Clayton Sanchez was hot on his heels. Holy cow. A heck of a race.
Drive.
A heck of a drive.
What a drive.
Jumping back to David Barkley. I mean, he's got 11 seconds back to Richard Siderski. And then Benjamin Gallant in third in the GTE 1 class. Jeremiah Sawden currently leading the way in the GTE 2 class from Tristan Bernard and Brian Froh. Tell you, David Barkley led from start to finish. I think he even took his pit stop and was still leading. Heck of a drive from him in the DLB Precision BMW as he's coming around Hog Pen for the final time to take the checkered flag. Jeremiah Sawden just took the checkered flag to seal the win in the GTE 2 class. And there it is, a flash from the headlights of David Barkley. Richard Siderski coming around to take second place in the GTE 1 class. Benjamin Gallant not super far behind him, but Tristan Bernard, he's going to take second place in the GTE 2 class. And Brian Froh not too far behind him. I think he might be out of fuel. Oh, Kevin's going to steal the third place there at the end. Oh my goodness. I think he just stole first place before the line, Els, for the GTE 2 class. Brian Froh. Oh, that is unfortunate for him. He was in a podium position. Holy cow.
No, I have PTSD from that actually happening, TJ. To me, that feels terrible.
Oh, man. Well, we now have the race results. Wow, that was exciting. That was absolutely exciting. So let's go back on the session and then go forward a lap, and then we'll go ahead and jump up to Chris Becco as he is starting out. We got a number of people in the waiting room right now. Chris Becco, Clayton Sanchez, everyone else files in. We're going to go ahead and read off our results, and then we'll bring in our drivers for their interviews. Chris Becco is going to hang on to win the LMP2X class with a Clayton Sanchez within 0.3161 seconds behind him as we were watching that unfold. Connor Broussard's going to come in third for a podium in the LMP2X. Michael Hamilton in fourth. Mike Pico in fifth. Guy Burkhart in sixth. Edric Reyes in seventh. Riley Mills in eighth. Drake Smith ninth. Kelly McQueen is in 10th. Matt Stalkup 11th. Jacob Maganowski in 12th. And Parker Clardy in 13th. Moving on to the GTE 1 class. We got David Barkley, who walked away with a win here tonight. Richard Sidursky, second place. Benjamin Gallant, third place. Zach Lewis in fourth place. Kyle Shook rounding out your top five. Christian La Rochelle in sixth. Kyle McDonald in seventh. Nate Hallistek in eighth. Jeremy Stevens in ninth. 10th is Charles Keene. 11th, Alex Good. Joshua Landrum in 12th. Blaze Scheid in 13th. Brad Jorgensen in 14th. Emil Toe in 15th. And then moving on to our GTE2 class, we got Jeremiah Saladin taking the win with Tristan Bernard in second place. Kevin Menzes stole third place from Brian Froh there on the final corner. Josh Swanger is going to be in fifth. Michael Brockhart sixth. Aaron Lister in seventh. Franklin Edwards in eighth. Eric Barner in ninth. Linda Parkley in 10th. Chris Opitz in 11th. And Brian Musato in 12th. So we got to start, of course, with Chris Becco, who is our winner this evening. So here is Chris Becco, your LMP2X winner tonight. Chris, huge congrats on the win. Did you take tires during your pit stop? I mean, this is you were the tail was wagging there at the end with Clayton Sanchez hunting you down. How was it out there?
Sadly, with the rule set, remember it's WEX, so that means you have to wait on your tires separately. So I just don't foresee forever, in any case, that you would ever take tires. I mean, as you said, they were getting pretty roasty toasty there, and the fuel saving helps with the tires a little bit. But I mean, let's be real here. I was not the car at the most pace tonight.
Yeah, but you did hold on to a win. The traffic, we saw the traffic help you out sometimes. You saw the traffic hurt you sometimes. VIR, a relatively difficult multi-class circuit, especially with the speed differential of these cars, the downforce of the LMP2X compared to the GTEs. How did you find traffic here tonight?
Yeah, it was pretty brutal, as you could probably tell in the broadcast. Honestly, whoever car was in front is usually the one that suffered. So whenever I was in front, you saw that lead slowly dwindle, and then whenever Drake got in front, you saw that lead dwindle as well. I mean, no matter what you do, if you get caught with the GT in that sector 1 or sector 3, there's nothing you really can do, to be honest. And you really could do what you could out there, but at the end of the day, you just had to hold that a lot of the times, and it's 2-3 seconds a pop. So
yep,
at these, even those.
Yeah. All right. Well, did you have any shout outs that you wanted to give tonight?
Same as usual, you guys, Dakota, and my team. Thank you guys. Have a good one.
All right, take it easy. Chris Becco, we'll see you next week. All right, that was Chris Becco, your winner in the LP2X. We're going to bring in Clayton Sanchez. Actually, no, sorry. We're going to bring in our GTE1 winner, and then we'll go through the rest of the drivers here with David Barkley. Els, here comes David Barkley. Take it away.
David Barkley, congratulations on your GTE win. You're looking good out there. You're out there in front with a nice looking car, by the way. How was that race?
Nice. It was good. It was definitely good. It's no surprise that I really like this track. So it's a place that I can just drive hours and hours and hours at. I just love it. So yeah.
I have to agree with you there. It's one of my favorite tracks as well. But were you taking tires or did you just keep the lead?
So I did not take tires. I did fuel save a bit at the beginning. I also took a full tank. I know a few guys weren't taking full tanks, but I took a full tank of fuel. That we could, and I did fuel save a little bit. And when you fuel save, you save tires, and I minimized the lockups and minimized the traction control, and it was slower at the end, but I was still clicking off some mid 42s. So
Wow. Great driving tonight. Great performance. Is there any shout outs that you wanted to give while you're on broadcast?
yeah, I want to shout out to you guys, Odyssey, DLB Precision, and Linda.
Absolutely. And you have a wonderful night. David Barkley, congratulations.
Hey, thank you guys. Have a good night.
All right, that was David Barkley, your GTE1 winner here tonight. And we're going to go ahead and bring in Jeremiah Salden, who was our GTE2 winner. Jeremiah, congratulations on the win in the GTE2 class. How was it out there for you at VIR tonight?
Thank you. It was pretty good. I had a pretty consistent race. Went off one time. You get caught up looking in your mirrors for those rocket ships behind you. So a little worried, but it all came back to me. So it was all good.
All right. Well, how was the tire deck here tonight? Was it bad? Was it good?
The track itself was it was getting really hot, and you could really see everyone's times starting to cut away. I didn't change tires. I went with the same as I think most people are doing now, but you definitely had to start easing up, and especially in the roller coaster and such.
All right. Well, huge congrats on your win in the GTE2 class. Did you have any shout outs that you wanted to give tonight?
As always, shout out to my mom. Thank you guys.
All right. Take it easy, Jeremiah. We'll see you next week at Le Mans.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, that was Jeremiah Salden, your winner in the GTE2 class. We're going to jump back to our LMP2Xs, and then we will go through every podium finisher here tonight. So we're going to bring in Clayton Sanchez, second place in LMP2Xs. Els, take it away.
Clayton Sanchez.
Hello.
How are you doing tonight? How was that race?
That race was
VIR?
intense. It was very intense. It was a very good race, but very intense. These LMP2Xs are wild to drive. The speed differences are something else. I made some mistakes in the pits. Popped myself into neutral somehow. Just sat in the pits for too long. So I lost a spot there, but it was overall really good. I think first podium for me for KCRL. I don't remember, but I think it is. I'm glad it was in a multi-class series. My favorite type of racing is multi-class.
Absolutely great performance out there. Did you have any issues with the tire wear? Did you have to take tires?
I did not take tires this time. I think the track the time left when I pitted was about 23 minutes, and I felt that was a little too short to get the tires back up to temp. And I could see Drake up in front of me, so I was just kind of following him, even though I over fueled and stuff. But the tires were definitely, I could feel them getting there towards the end. The rears were really struggling. Left rear was really unhappy. Through 4, 5, and 6, that it was like just wanting to be sideways the whole time.
Oh, we saw a couple of slowdowns of just the pace difference at the end. So congratulations on your second place. Was there any shout outs that you wanted to give?
I'm gonna shout out Savage Sim Racing for giving my start in the endurance stuff and on iRacing, and then shout out to my girlfriend for putting up with all my sim racing stuff.
All right, and thank you for interviewing with us. You have a wonderful night.
Thanks, you too.
That was Clayton Sanchez, second place in the LMP2X class. And now next up we got Connor Broussard, third place in LMP2X. Connor, huge congrats on the podium finish here tonight. Third place at VIR, a crowded circuit. How was it for you out there?
Oh, that was went way better than I thought I could have done. I was expecting to be nowhere near the front.
Yeah, well, third step on the podium, pretty darn good with a busy track. Also a track that really, really penalizes you if you set your tire an inch on the wrong side of the line with all the grass. How was the tire dagger out there for you tonight?
On the first stint, it got pretty sketchy towards the end of it. It was mainly towards the run just up before the S's. It felt like you were on ice skates the whole time.
Wow. Well, so you did take tires in the pit stop?
I did.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, Chris and Clayton and Drake, none of them took tires, and they were saying that it was really, really rough there at the end. So,
Oh, I bet.
yeah, but yeah, huge congrats on the third place. Did you have any shout outs that you wanted to give tonight?
None that I can think of right now.
All right. Well, a huge congrats again on the third place, and we look forward to seeing you at Le Mans next week.
All right. Well, thank you.
That was Connor Broussard, third place in the LMP2 X class, bringing back up the GTE1 class. Our second place finisher, Richard Sidursky. Here's Richard Sidursky. Els, take it away.
Richard Sidursky, congratulations on your second place in the GTE1 class. How was that race tonight?
It was pretty good, thank you. Kind of lost the draft out of the gate trying to get around Ben at the beginning, and just kind of had, got stuck out 5-6 seconds behind the lead pack, unfortunately, but drove her to P2 in the end, so I'm happy.
Absolutely. Now, did you have any tire wear issues? Were you taking tires?
There was, definitely, because I was gaining on Dave near the end and almost caught him in the pit lane there a little bit, and I was pushing the car, and definitely the last 3 to 4 laps I was struggling.
Wow. So you actually took tires. Okay.
No, I didn't take tires. But the tires were struggling for sure.
Oh, the tires were struggling. Okay. Now I'm understanding. Did you have any shout outs that you wanted to give while you're on broadcast?
Ducky for sure, and you guys as well, and Savage Sim Racing, of course.
All right. Thank you for interviewing with us. Great performance tonight. You have a wonderful night.
Thank you. You as well.
All right, that was Richard Sidursky, second place in the GTE1 class. We're going to bring in Benjamin Gallant, who is third place in the GTE1 class. Benjamin, huge congrats on the podium.
Thank you.
How was the track? It looked congested out there. How was it for you?
The traffic was fine. It was actually the track itself. The conditions were a lot different than what I'd practiced on Sunday night. So there was a definite adjustment. The car drove a lot differently everywhere.
Okay. When you practiced Sunday, was it hotter? Was it cooler? How was it different?
I'll be honest, I'm not sure. I'm going to have to go back and look. I know the track temp changed a lot in the middle of this session.
Sure.
I know the track got a lot hotter, but it was just a different type of responsive. I'm gonna say this was probably hotter, I'm guessing.
All right. Well, I mean, yeah, that is sometimes it'd be that way with the evolving track conditions. But you pulled it in for a third place, so a solid finish for you. Did you have any shout outs that you wanted to give tonight?
Yeah, shout out to DLB once again for their support. To you guys for streaming every race, and to Ducky for the hosts and all the series sponsors.
All right. Well, congrats on a third place once again, and we look forward to seeing you next week at Le Mans.
Thank you. Yes, looking forward to it.
All right. That was Benjamin Gallant, third place in the GTE1 class. Bringing back up the GTE2s, we'll hit our second and third place with Tristan Barnard. Els second place in the GTE2 class. Here's Tristan. Take it away.
Tristan, congratulations on your second place in the GTE2 class. How was the multi-class action tonight?
I feel like tonight I felt like it was a little bit better than the past two tracks. I feel like the traffic was so heavy that it spaced out a lot of the P2s. So I never really felt like I was dealing with like multiple coming at once. It was just like one at a time, which was nice.
That was actually a dynamic that I wasn't actually thinking about. I thought this was going to be chaotic and crazy. So definitely making sense here. Did you have any tire wear issues? Did you have to take tires?
No, I didn't take tires. I definitely felt like the last like 3 or 4 laps, starting to feel the tire wear a little bit, but for the most part, tires felt good the whole race.
Interesting. I believe I was wrong about my inference about tires, but did you have any broadcast shout outs that you wanted to give?
No shout outs this week, just the same as the past 2 weeks. Just big shout out to the team at KCRL for putting this on. It was another fun week. So
Absolutely. Thank you for interviewing with us once again. Great performance. You have a good night.
I appreciate it. You guys have a good one.
All right, that was Tristan Barnard, second place in the GTE2 class. We're going to bring in our third place finisher in the GTE2 class, who we saw on the final lap, the final corner, take third place, Kevin Menzes. Let's bring him in. Oh, I don't see him on here, actually. That is unfortunate. Kevin, with the last second pass, not able to make it into the waiting room for the driver interviews, but a heck of a pass, way to stay at it. Unfortunate for Brian Froh, looked like he lost fuel there at the end, but gotta say, Els, it was exciting, it was fast, there was all sorts of crazy things happening. Chris Becco holds on to the win in the LMP2X class, David Barkley in the GT1, and then oh my goodness. Not Benjamin McCollin. Jeez. Jeremiah Sodden, your first place finisher in the GTE2 class. I was completely blanking there. I was looking right at his name but couldn't say it. Any final thoughts before we close it out here tonight, Els?
Oh man, I think I was mistaken with my tire strategy, but I'm gonna hold my stance and say if I was in the race, I would have took tires and caught back up. But that's just me being me, TJ. I think it was a great race. The guys put on a show every single time. It's my favorite league to watch, and I wish I was a part of it. I would have probably taken the LMP into the wall because I just don't have the skill, but I'll pretend like it. So definitely want to shout out Dakota for putting together such a interesting league, and with the rising temperatures of the track as well. I think the tires would have been the move. And yeah, TJ, that's what I'm thinking.
All right. Well, I think you'd be doing just fine in the GT car once you got to grips with the no ABS. I think you would have been just fine up there fighting for a podium. But that's my opinion. Yeah, clearly the tire with the IMSA style, you have to get fuel first, then the tire. Seems to be a huge detriment in strategy. So a couple individuals taking tires, a couple of the others not doing so. But that's going to go ahead and conclude our coverage of round 3 of the Savage Sim Racing Sports Car Championship here, hosted by the Kansas City Racing League. A huge thanks to all the drivers who participated tonight, and for Dakota for putting on this league and doing race control. I am TJ Yankee.
And I'm Lesean Young-Dilworth.
And that's going to conclude our broadcast tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope to see you back next week for round 4 at Le Mans. Thank you and good night.